Everybody, I'm sure, has an I hate my credit card story. The people in my family are so sick of hearing my story that the dog is walking out of the room at this point. So let me tell you why I hate my credit card. It was last December and I sent my payment in and it was late. You could blame the mail or blame me, but it was late. As a result, my Visa company bumped me up to the default interest rate, which took me from something normal to 26.27%. 26 point something percent. I called him up and I said, hey, I've been paying your bills for 15 years. You give me this huge, incredible credit limit. Couldn't you give me a reasonable interest rate? And they said, sorry, we have no promotional rates at this time. And I said, I don't want a promotional rate. I want a reasonable rate that I can just pay you every month and survive. And they said, sorry, we don't have promotional rates at this time. So I got mad and I decided to draw down my home equity line of credit, which had a much lower interest rate, and pay off this Visa. I got my big check, I put it in the envelope, and I went down to the post office and said, let's overnight this. It was a Friday. The bill, it turns out, was due on a Sunday. But the nice lady at the post office checked, and the post office where my bill had to go is closed on Saturdays. So even if I overnighted it 2 days in advance, it had no possibility of getting there on time. I checked back on some bills from the past, and every month it was due on a Sunday, including Easter Sunday, with the post office that's closed the day before. So I overnighted it, knowing that it's going to be late. And I called my Visa company once again and said, look, I'm trying to get this payment to you, but there's no way I can get it there on time. And they said, oh, well, yes, there is. You can do it by telephone. We'll take it straight out of your checking account. But of course, we'll charge you for that. And I said, no, I've paid you plenty. You can get the check in the mail. So the check arrived late, and inevitably the Visa company then slaps a great big finance charge on me and sends me another bill. So I call them up and say, didn't you notice I tried to pay this thing off, but it was almost impossible. Now please, take your finance charge back. And they did. That's one good thing that they did do. The next thing that happened was the phone rings and it's my Visa company. And they said, since you're such a good customer, we have a promotional rate we'd like to offer you, 3.6%. I was speechless. I said, you're kidding. I pay you off and all of a sudden you want me with a reasonable rate? 3.6 is good, but for you, it's too much to pay. I didn't take it. I don't use that card anymore. That's why I hate my credit card. Thanks for listening.